Tip number 3, focus on data structures and algorithms. Oh yes, if you think that was a very important one, wait until you hear point number 8. It will blow your mind completely. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jerry, the coding musician, and in this video I'll be sharing with you 8 tips for success after completing your coding bootcamp. First of all, I would like to clarify that the coding bootcamp, as the name implies, is a crash training hands-on program that equips you with the basic training you need to get started on your journey to becoming a specialist in your chosen IT field. There is no guarantee of getting a job immediately after graduating from a bootcamp. Any bootcamp that promises you a job after graduation is probably lying just to get you to enroll in their program. Sometimes they might get you to sign a contract saying they're going to help you get a job within the space of 6 months to 8 months after graduating from the bootcamp. And if within that space of time you don't get a job, you get your full, you get refunded the full amount that you paid. But if you look at it closely, that is about the same time that you as an individual can use if you work hard on yourself and follow the steps I'm going to be outlining in this video. You can get a job by yourself without signing such contracts and, you know, getting yourself tied to whatever it is that might be a clause in such a coding bootcamp. So a lot of bootcamps that promise to help graduates find a job, they do this by helping you prepare your resume, helping you update your LinkedIn profile, giving you some interview tips and sometimes mock interviews, and also reaching out to recruiters on your behalf by submitting your names to companies that are hiring if there are prior arrangements between the bootcamp and such a company. For example, last year I was working for a consulting company precisely, and after their 7 weeks of training, they submitted our names to a particular big company, a financial tech company that scheduled us for interviews, and eventually we got hired by that company through this third-party company. It has its own pros and cons, but I'm not going into that today. That will be a video for another day. The first tip I'll share with you today is this: volunteer to build simple apps or websites for a few family members and friends who own small businesses. Better still, look for a non-profit organization that needs IT workers and volunteer your skills based on your availability. This will give you real-world experience and can even go on your resume as freelance or full-time experience if you so desire. The importance of this is that it helps your mind to stay fresh even after graduating from your coding bootcamp. It helps you to find a purpose to put to practical use those things that you've learned from the coding bootcamp. So it's very important to, you know, stay hands-on, keep working on various projects, either personal projects or helping a family member or a friend that owns a small business, help them build their website or help them set up the IT structure for their personal business. It will really help you in the long run. The second point is this: apply for multiple jobs and take every interview that comes up. I want you to see each interview as part of your preparation for success in the next interview, which may lead to your dream job. See the multiple interviews as opportunity to get better at the art of interviewing. Oh yes, it's gonna help you get better. Every point in time that you approaching another interview, you reflect over the former interview, the questions that you got right, what you didn't get right. You know, you go back and review the questions asked that you didn't know the answers to, or probably even the ones you already know. Just do a fresher, remind yourself of them, okay? The ones that you felt confident about, note them down, work on the ones that you don't know in preparation for the future interviews. Personally, I remember applying to over 100 jobs after my coding bootcamp. I lost count at some point and just kept applying. I applied probably 3 to 5 times in a week, and each day I was applying to about 5 different jobs. And today the story is different. I also remember taking over 20 interviews before I eventually landed my first full-time position, which was actually a contract job, as I mentioned earlier on, through a third-party company. That doesn't have to be your own case. Everyone's story is different, so your experience might be different. You might get a job right out of a coding bootcamp or right out of college. Okay, I'm just sharing my experience of how things went for me. Tip number 3, focus on data structures and algorithms. This is very important. I can't stress it enough. Oh yes, if you think this was a very important point, wait until you hear point number 8. It will blow your mind completely. You can achieve mastery of data structures and algorithms by using websites like algoexpert.com and a book such as Cracking the Coding Interview. Algoexpert.com helped me personally. It helped me tremendously while I was preparing for interviews after my coding bootcamp. Quick disclaimer, this is not to market that website, but I'm simply sharing with you what helped me when I was in your shoes preparing for coding interviews. I do not have any affiliation with them apart from using them during my study. Alright, but I do trust their delivery with great content, with over 100 coding questions that were answered in about 9 different programming languages, step by step, in video format. That is very important for you to see and hear, a real human being explaining the concepts, walking you through the questions, walking you through the solutions step by step. I encourage you to check it out. I will leave the link to that website below this video for your reference. Point number 4, do not be discouraged by the negative responses or feedback from companies, recruiters, and hiring managers. All you need is one yes to neutralize all the no's you have been receiving or will be receiving. I know someone who has failed over 50 interviews and has applied to over 250 jobs. I was reading her story on LinkedIn the other day, and it was quite a heartbreaking story, but eventually she got her one yes that turned her life around, that changed the story completely forever. Always remember that everyone's experience is different. There are those who get a job right after graduating or even before graduating. Oh yes, I remember one of my colleagues, by the 7th week of coding bootcamp, he already got an interview and got a full-time job. He just waited to complete the final project in the coding bootcamp before resuming as a full-time staff, with a company in Utah. Now, hopefully, if you're that lucky, you may experience such, quick turnaround between coding bootcamp and getting into a full-time job. Point number 5, take some time every week to network on LinkedIn with recruiters, developers, and other people who work in the same field or in the same company that you are eyeing, the company that you are, envisaging or anticipating that you're going to get a job at. So begin to network with people in those companies. Ask them for tips on how to succeed on the job. Ask them about what to expect on the job. Ask them what their day-to-day activity looks like, and even some tips for interviewing in the company, especially now that you're considering sending job applications to that particular company. Such tips will help you get prepared when you eventually get scheduled for an interview. Remember to chip in by asking if the person knows if the company is hiring at this time or not. Sometimes there might be internal memos or emails sent to employees of a company mentioning open available positions, and they may even ask for references. Hey, do you know somebody? Send their contact, send their resume to the hiring manager and get certain percentage bonuses from the company. So such things might be going on internally that you as an applicant might not be aware of. So feel free to voice out, be confident, be polite, reach out to people, ask them for such detailed information that may be useful in your job hunt. Point number 6, do not sit and wait around for the big job that pays big money or 6 figures. I know so many graduates, that's like the main thing in their head, hitting the 6-figure mark. It will come, but you need to be patient and take your time, follow the process through. It is a gradual process, and it will come with additional years of experience once you start working and decide to move to a bigger company or get promoted within the same company. A lot of bootcamp graduates are deluded, thinking once they get out of bootcamp, their first job should pay them upwards of 70k or even in the six figures. Now that is a wrong mindset to have. While it is true that tech jobs pay very well, to be honest with you, only a few percentage of graduates experience this level of breakthrough coming fresh out of university or a bootcamp. My advice is to take any job that comes, no matter how small it pays, while you continue to apply and interview for bigger jobs. You will be amazed at how such a small job will add up to your experience and build up your skill and make you a better candidate for that big job that you're eyeing at a bigger corporate organization. Such experiences become a tool for bargaining your next compensation at an interview or at the point where you receive offers from companies. Point number 7. Be open and flexible to learn new technologies or a tech stack that you are not familiar with. This point cannot be overemphasized. You may have gone through a JavaScript and React bootcamp, for example, but the first offer you get may be in Angular or Java backend. So if you find yourself in such a situation, should you turn down the offer because you don't know Java or because you don't know Angular? Heck no. There is a lot of similarities between programming languages, and if you know React, it will be easy to pick up Angular. Likewise, if you know JavaScript, it will be easy to pick up Java. It's just a matter of few syntactic differences, and practicing within a few weeks, you'll get a hang of the new technology and you'll begin to do fine. There is always room to continue to learn and grow on the job. In my case, I started out with Java, but at my current job, it requires React.js. So right now, I use mostly React in my day job. I had to go through a few weeks to learn the basics of React and start working on important tasks on various projects. The 8th point is this: be patient, be patient, be patient with yourself. Things can quickly get desperate, overwhelming, discouraging, and even depressing at some point if you are not careful. Your mental health can take a toll as a result of the frequent rejection emails and phone calls you might receive. It can really get to you and weigh you down such that you are no longer in the mood for interviewing. You no longer feel like studying to stay in shape and not forget all that you have learned from the bootcamp. In fact, you might even be tempted to go back to your former career that you left already. So a good approach will be to stay at your former job. Do not quit, do not leave yet, if you are able to attend a part-time bootcamp or an evening bootcamp, so that you can be able to make a living while pursuing the new career. Okay, that way you're able to strike a balance and keep your bills going. You are not stranded, you're able to feed your family, put food on the table, but it will definitely require extra work. But the best route will have been being full-time focused on the bootcamp and graduating and pursuing a new career in this field. Not everyone has that opportunity, so it's totally fine. It's okay to work at your own pace depending on your circumstances. So you must be deliberate in taking good care of yourself. Take a few days off or even a week to just rest and reset yourself and get back in the game. This is not the time to quit. Ensure you get enough sleep, eat well, drink enough fluid, and worry less, because you cannot add anything positively to your life by just worrying. Once again, my name is Jerry, the coding musician, and on this channel I upload videos weekly to help people like you who are in the process of transitioning into a career in tech. I was formerly a musician and now a software developer. Make sure to boop the like button if you have enjoyed this video thus far. Subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. If you're just starting out in search of a career in tech and you're wondering which role to pursue, technical role or a non-technical role, I highly recommend you watch my video on this topic popping up right now, where I break down the differences between a technical role and a non-technical role. I believe that this will help you make an informed decision on the right or the best career fit for you to pursue. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.